Hey,
Hello and welcome to Gupshup or Critique. Once again, I am here to introduce you to somebody who inspires me thoroughly. Now, who is she? She's somebody who is number 8. Now, if you know numerology, you will understand what resonates with number 8 or why we number 8 people connect very much with each other. Second, she's somebody whom I can discuss dil se, my projects, my thought process, anything and everything. Third, we don't talk every day, but whenever we talk, we feel we are so connected. And fourth, I love her very much. It takes a huge time and efforts to maintain such relationship. And that relationship I share with Miss Nancy Katyal. Yes, she is the guest for today. Hello, Nancy.
hi Riddhi, thank you so much, and I love you a
Thank
lot as
you.
well.
Thank you for coming on the show, Gupshup or Kutsik. I so wanted people to meet you because you are somebody who inspires me thoroughly. Friends, let me officially introduce you to Miss Nancy. She is a lead executive presence coach and leadership skills facilitator. She is the founder of The Perfect You. Nancy is considered one of the leading voices on executive presence and leadership in the corporate circle. She is a Guinness World Record holder. She is a recipient of several awards. Her story as an entrepreneur was featured by TV channel that's Z 24 Stars and featured coffee table book She the Change. She's a very, very dear friend and someone who shares my passion for helping people overcome challenges and with lot of self-confidence and faith in their own self. Thank you once again, Nancy, for sparing some time from heavily packed schedule, I would say, and coming on Gupshup or Kutsik. It's an honor to have
Thank
you.
you so much, Riddhi. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to having this in or gupshup, as you say it.
I am so looking forward to this. So, as a matter of ritual, Nancy, there's there's a round of rapid fire, and I'm going to pose 5 questions to you. Uh,
Okay.
I want you to be letting people know that how grounded you are, how simple you are, and I want people to know the other side of Miss Nancy Katyal. So, the first question is, tell me 5 things which people don't know about you.
5. You
Yes,
know a lot about me, Riddhi.
yes,
So
I
I
do.
would consider when you say people, I'm considering the people who know me professionally but not personally. So one of the things
Absolutely.
that people don't know about me would be that I'm an ambivert. I am very comfortable with my company. I can sit for 15 days without feeling lonely. And some people misunderstand that. And also, when I'm social in this interaction, I'll be fully present to you and I'll be an extrovert. So that's something that not many people may know about me. Number two would be that I'm a die-hard Arijit Singh fan, not just because of his music, but because of the person that he is. The
Wow.
soul, I think, the music, yeah, the music that people say that, oh, I love him. I think it's a lot to do with the soul of his own humanness that he brings to
Absolutely.
his songs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And number three is I wear contact lenses. So not many people may may know that uh, contact lenses के बगैर मतलब दिखता है चश्मे के साथ दिखता है लेकिन most of the time those people who have seen me they wouldn't know that I wear contact
No, I
lenses.
need to give a high
So
five to
yeah.
you here because it's the same at my end.
Yeah, so you can understand Riddhi when we wake up in the morning how it is, right? So yeah, वह चश्मा कहाँ पर है वह दिखता है but still you know what I mean. And fourth would be it's quite interesting that you're asking me because that is also helping me to really see and think right now. What are things that I've not shared maybe openly with people. Number four would be that I'm a good secret keeper. what I mean by that is that, say, Riddhi, you and I are outside and one of your friend is there, and you're like, Nancy, remember I told you this? I would act as if I don't know, because for me, if you told me a secret, I'll act as if I don't know. So I think that's
Awesome.
something, yeah. And number five, uh, number five would be that I get rush when I send gifts to people. I do that very often. I send surprise gifts to people, and then they would wonder, and then they'll call me and say, "तुमने भेजा है, तुमने भेजा है, तुमने भेजा है." And then I'll say, "हाँ हाँ हाँ, मैंने भेजा
I
है."
have experienced that. So, friends, I need to share this experience. She had posted something on her social media, I think 2 years before, and it was in regard to some memories of childhood, wherein one of them was Mango Bite. Now, it's a chocolate, and that's my favorite. I would say one of my favorites. And within few days, I get a parcel from Pune, and it's a whole bunch of Mango Bites from Nancy. And I was like, wow, I mean, this is amazing. And trust me, my address I had not shared with her. So I don't know where she took my address from, probably my team member, because many of them are connected with her. But I get the surprise, and I was really happy and thrilled because I love Mango Bites. So I so understand. I mean, and you really make people feel so special, Nancy. I love that.
I feel the same for you, Riddhi. Thank you so much.
Lovely. So, Nancy, while I understood that these are the things which people don't know about you, what are the four things which are most dear to you?
Most dear to me. So I'm considering dear as in something that brings me happiness, not in terms of attachment, right? Something that,
It can be anything. I mean, you know better.
yeah, yeah. So I'm considering dear as in something that brings me happiness. That would be my family and connection. Like Riddhi, you said very beautifully that, whenever we don't talk daily, but whenever we talk, we pick it up from the last time wherever we left, or pick it up from
Absolutely.
wherever we want.
Absolutely.
So I think I thrive. That is very dear to me is my work. I believe in training and coaching with purpose. Whichever assignments, and I've been fortunate to work with you very closely. So whatever assignments I've done with you, also I also see that you bring that passion and you want to thrive in that. So I think that is very dear to me. Another thing that is very dear to me is the time that I spend in nature. I treasure that. I
Lovely.
can sit for hours and hours and can look at the nature and may not have many thoughts. That's very dear to me. That's very precious. And somebody would come and say, "Ki kya ho raha hai?" I say, "Just a couple of minutes." And I come like, "Just रहने दो थोड़ी देर." And fourth would be my books. I feel that books have the capacity and the magic to transform you. By sitting in the same place to take you into a different world altogether. I can become somebody else. If you're reading, let's say, Eat, Pray, and Love, you can visit Bali and you can experience that just sitting at home. So that's something that is very dear to me.
Oh, amazing. So people who know me would say like मेरी clone बात कर रही है अभी ऐसा लग रहा है. I'm loving this conversation for sure. Nancy, three things which we can find or we find on your bedside table.
Oh, interesting. That I can tell you quickly because I can just visualize. One would be skincare products, especially moisturizer, and second would be a notebook and a pen. And if you come to my place, Riddhi, whenever, I'll show you the number of notebooks that I have,
Wow.
and they keep on increasing day by day. So that's something that I do. And number three would be books I've mentioned that are dear to me. But another thing that I have to mention, which would be near, would be water. Yes,
Lovely,
water.
lovely. So, I wanted to share something here, Nancy. Recently, somebody asked me that why didn't you write it on Excel or Word, and why do you create, diaries, notebook diaries, so that you have to go home flip? Because many times people ask me, I said, I'll check my diary and let you know. So they always tell me, and I mean, recently this person told me that why don't you switch on to Google Diary so that you can be very prompt in answering or planning your appointments and all. And I just looked at him and I said, but I mean, it doesn't work for me. I have to write. I have to have a diary where I put a tick. I feel, oh, मैंने इतना सारा काम कर लिया. So it's me. Even when something is happening, some sessions I'm attending or I'm upgrading my skills, I have to write. It can't be word for me at all. I have to write it with a pen. And that's how, if you see on my table, there are books which I refer, which is handwritten. Okay. So maybe I'm planning a session. I have to flip papers and I know where I have written. I'll flip that pages and I know where I've written, so that, I check, I plan my session, and that's how I execute. But I have to write for sure. It can't be word at all. However, technology is going to go, and grow, and however we try working with it, I can so resonate with it.
And also that there is science behind it, right? That, some people think a lot. They say that, oh my God, the speed of the thought and writing cannot match. So people who overthink or sometimes, over reflect, for them, it's a great way to slow down the process, so that, whatever are your thoughts, when you write down, you will always slow down. You cannot write as fast as you think.
Absolutely.
I think that also refines your communication.
Absolutely. That's so true. Two things you are very, very passionate about, Nancy.
I'm very passionate about life in general, Riddhi. I personally feel that life has so much to offer. I look forward to every day, and I'm grateful for that. I'm passionate about life in general. And second would be the conversations and connection and the work that I'm fortunate enough to get up every day and do something that I love to do. And because of that, I get to meet a lot of people. So I'm passionate about learning. I'm passionate about, I'm not saying that as a vicious circle that, learn as in curious to create content, curious to create modules, curious to create work with you. I think that's something that I'm very passionate about.
Awesome. And one thing that you wish to do, but you have not been able to do so far?
I think I have taken a lot of solo trips in India as a traveler. What I would love to do before I turn 40, and still some time for that, would be to travel solo abroad out of India. And considering the scenario right now, I don't know when it will happen, but I'll make it happen soon.
Awesome. Friends, now I'm sure आपको इतना तो समझ आ गया होगा कि ये मुझे इंस्पायर क्यों करती है, because there's so much to learn from her. The way she talks, the way she portrays her thoughts, the way she connects with people is something which is amazing, and it's worth learning also. I probably can learn and imbibe in yourself as well. So Nancy, now some serious conversations. Okay. You are somebody who helps, who coaches people. Okay. How do you see life? With a tinted glass or as the way it is?
Off late, the profession we are in, we are also learning every day. And I think I personally feel that everything that is happening right now is the only thing that can happen right now. If we can understand that is that life cannot happen differently than what is happening right now. So the acceptance of it is something that I look at life to be in the here and now, to be in the present. That, okay, this is happening. What is it is going to teach me? All the people that I've met, they're as a teacher in my life. So I think all the experiences in my life are my treasure. So I look at life, like I said, I'm passionate about life. It's like, bring it on. What do you have for me? I look at it with a transparent glass, I would say.
Amazing. I love that, with the transparent glass. And the second word which I often talk about is here and now. And that's something which you just spoke. It's so important to be in here and now, because the past and the future doesn't work. It's important that you are in here and now. You are connected with your own self, and then probably life is actually beautiful, because you are not connected with your past, or you're not looking forward to, kya hoga. So you're not anxious. You're not panicking. Amazing, Nancy. I just loved it. I love that phrase. I see life with transparent glass. I'm going to quote this somewhere, and I'm going to, kind of mention that this has been said by Nancy Khatyar. Amazing.
Thank you,
Nancy. You have worked with people from all over, and yet you must have seen one common thread in all. What is it?
that people want to be seen, heard, and accepted for who they are. I think the moment why they are reaching out to us is that somebody has told them that they will become perfect or they will become better by being somebody else, right? Or they're comparing their life with somebody else. And I think if they can come back to their home, which is themselves, that's something that I've seen common thread, whether they are CEOs, whether they're celebrities, everybody. And on the superficial part of it, they would say that I want to work on my assertive communication, I want to work on my executive presence. But when you dig deeper into understanding what does they need, you realize that it's actually about just being accepted for who they are. That's a common thread that I see in people.
So do you think that appreciation and acceptance and acknowledgement, the 3 A's, is much needed for every human being?
Very well put, Riddhi. I couldn't have put it any better, like you said. And I think it's also because of the world that we are living in, Riddhi, that whatever we are doing is not enough. People are striving for a better car, a better home, a better this and better that. But what if what you're having right now is the best that you can have? And I think the acceptance of that only helps people to even thrive better. And yes, acknowledgement. And I think the 3 A's, what you have beautifully said, have to come from myself first. Then only I'll be able to offer it to somebody else.
Absolutely.
So I think if people are listening to us right now in terms of, or they will be watching later, these 3 A's, what Riddhi you have mentioned, have to be put in the diary, bold letter, maybe, on fridge magnet or somebody else, that am I doing these things for myself before I can even offer it to somebody else?
Superb. I mean, I love this. Amazing. In fact, this is something which I believe in. And you said it so rightly that it has to come from myself first. It has to come from within. Then only you'll be able to accept others, acknowledge others, and appreciate others. Amazing, Nancy. I'm so loving this conversation. Okay, Nancy.
Likewise.
Apart from the gender, what separates men from women? Are they truly different? Or as people say that men are from Mars and women are from Venus, are they from different planets? How do you and what do you feel about this 2 genders or other genders that are, kind of talk of the town currently?
Yeah, so I would say that, of course, as a concept, when you say men are from Mars, these are all labels. Of course, in terms of gender, we identify them like that, he's a man and she's a woman. But at the core of it, right, both men and women, they have masculine and femininity in them. So sometimes, a man, I have seen in coaching sessions, the feminine side, which not many people would have seen. And it's also because of the stereotype, right? Men don't cry, women are multitaskers, right? So I personally feel that I see them as a human being, anybody for that matter, even if it's true. I personally feel that, the moment people start seeing people as individuals, people as human beings, the entire debate, and I'm glad that you're asking this, Riddhi, would go away. And there have been so many conversations, Riddhi, that I even forget when I'm talking to my mate, that, oh, he's a male. The conversation is just like how we are having. For me, I think it's difficult to really say that, do I really look at gender when I'm talking to people? So I see them as a human being.
Wow. So it's beyond gender, right? The connects happen beyond gender. Yes. It's all about the human being. And it's high time that we start respecting the person or the individual as a human being and not categorize into different genders. I love that. Amazing. How does it feel to be featured in the Forbes magazine, Nancy? Has it really changed your life, or you are the same Miss Nancy Katyal before you were, featured in Forbes?
In fact, today I would ask you, because you've seen me up so close that you've seen me when I was featured and you've seen me after that. So in fact, you can tell me better whether I've changed as a person, and then I can answer your question.
No. I haven't seen anything that's all. In fact, for me, you are Nancy. Your surname also doesn't come where I'm talking to you or connecting with you. You are just one beautiful human being. I mean, as I just mentioned sometime before, that whenever I have to talk to somebody, my one person go-to person is Nancy. Or when I have to discuss a project and when I feel that, okay, mujhe hi bhi bolna hai, it's just Nancy. So I never found that, but obviously I would love to hear from you.
So I would say, Riddhi, that these accomplishments, and we cannot deny that in the setup that we are in, jo dikhta hai, wo dikhta hai, is something that is acknowledged, whether it's a professional setting. These things really help you to maybe open one door, but of course, at the end of the day, it will be your talent and skills that people are looking at,
Absolutely.
not so much your accomplishments. And I remember that when I got my gold, and I'm not flaunt. I know it may, for the risk of sounding as a flaunter right now, I'm taking that risk and jumping in. I remember when I received my gold medal in Bachelor of Business Administration, I thought, oh my God, sort of a snobbish kid. I got this. Life would be simpler. Life would be easier. And I remember in the first interview, job interview that I went, they said, "Tell me something about yourself." And I was just trying to show them my medal and certificate. They didn't bother about that. And I think beyond the point, I personally feel that these things are good for other people to understand that the stereotype society's norms that, oh, because you have this, that means that you have something. But I have slowly started realizing really that ultimately it's about the person that you bring to the table, the value that you bring to the table is something that organizations have started realizing. It feels good that you're featured because these are certain things that society has set for us that, oh, it sets you apart. But I would say that after that, I move on. For me, it's almost like, how celebrities say, or not celebrities, but movie stars, that every Friday your destiny is decided. And same is the case with our profession, right?
Absolutely.
Every training, every coaching, every feedback, our professions depend on somebody else, what they think about us when we are not in the room. So I would just say that it just motivates me to do something that I love doing every single day. That's how I see it should be.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I would like to add to what you said, Nancy, that friends, it is very important that whenever somebody is achieving this, she or he are achieving because they deserve it. They have put in lot of efforts to reach up to that stage when they are featured in magazine or they are receiving awards. Second important thing, you need to understand that not all awards and all features are paid. So हम मेहनत भी करते हैं. Third important thing for us, sometimes it goes overwhelming because हमारे लिए वो मैटर नहीं करता है professionals के लिए. वो सिर्फ हमारे प्रोफाइल में ऐड होता है. And as Nancy rightly said, it's something which society has left a benchmark कि ये टिक होता है तो आप बहुत successful हो. It's just there. It is not on our head. It is not in our behavior. And we are as simple as you can always find. And somebody who is kind of representing that whole scenario, what I spoke about, is Nancy for sure. It's not in her behavior. None of her achievements are seen in her behavior, not in the way she connects with other people, not in the way she talks or coaches or conducts her programs. She's as simple as you and me. So, I mean, it's amazing that, and it's high time that people understand that it's all the efforts that people put in. And when I say we, because I and many, many friends of ours, they are kind of receiving all those achievements or are achieving these milestones. But those are few things which we set for ourselves. But that doesn't mean that it's seen in our behavior, or it's seen as the way we talk or we connect, or it's seen on social media. It's just there on our profile, nowhere else. I hope you understand that, friends. Nancy, what has the pandemic taught you, and what would you do differently based on the learnings from the pandemic? I know we spoke multiple times during this pandemic, and I so want all the viewers to understand your perspective, because I know once you spoke to me about something, and that has been kind of constantly in me, on my mind, and that's something which I have been telling other people also. But yes, I've always told them that this is not told by me, this is told by Nancy, but that's a learning. So I would love to hear from you, and I would love that people also understand that pandemic, I mean, what's so different about it?
Yes, really, like everybody, I got a lot of time to self-reflect about slowing down. I think one thing that pandemic is, if at all you're not, if there's something to learn from it, is to slow down. When I say slow down, that doesn't mean that you don't do the work that you love doing, that you don't connect with people. I think I think it's also now if you look at the Pune scenario right now. I mean, I'm in Pune, so the timings are 9 to 4, and if you look back at our time when we were younger, our parents used to come back by maximum 5 or 6. So what is this pandemic teaching us? Why the timing? Saturday, Sunday, also if you see the malls here are closed, but the shop timings. So it's great to thrive in your work and everything, but slowing down to sometimes just sit with yourself and do something as basic as painting, as basic as cooking, if you like it, as basic as dancing. Uh, Riddhi, we have done so many
Yes, the movement jams,
jamming
Nancy.
sessions together,
Yes.
and yes, yes, and moment. And I think one thing that I have followed and continued, and I think pandemic has only helped me to do it even more further, is slowing down, and also saying no to certain things. Uh, so I remember this quote. I'm unable. I think the author who wrote Alchemist said that when you're saying yes to something, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. So that just life is beautiful. What are certain things that in this moment will make you feel come alive? Can you just dance like nobody is watching? Can you just listen to the music and enjoy everything and just be thankful and grateful for the precious thing called life? I think that's what pandemic has taught me.
Awesome, awesome. And do you think that pandemic has somewhere taught a lesson to everybody, or probably that was needed for all of us? The way were running, it was kind of a rat race, and everybody was striving for money and status and cars and ghar and bade bangle, bade flat, decor, talking about diamonds, talking about flaunting over mobile phones and all. Do you think that pandemic was needed for all of us?
Beautiful question, Riddhi. I would say that nature has its own way of showing up to us, right? It's like telling you that, hey, are you getting the lesson now? And if somebody has to learn it, they will learn it. I know of people who have actually increased their investments, have increased hoarding, have increased even, buying cars. So I think those who have to learn it, they will learn it as a signal. Riddhi, pandemic may become one of the signals from the universe. But people like you, Riddhi, I know that before pandemic also, if you have to, you are somebody who reflects a lot, right? So you would learn it, pandemic or no pandemic. So I think if people are waiting for that moment that I'll be happier if that happens, I will be happier, I think they need to just understand that this is a vicious circle. Only moment you can be happy is right now, nothing else.
Absolutely, absolutely. So beautifully put. One thing that you want our viewers to introspect over, something maybe closing line, a closing statement, or a closing food for thought for everybody, something that is which we need, or we might introspect on that.
I would say that making a list of things that make you feel come alive. If you ask people Riddhi, that what do they love doing, they'll say, I love doing this, I love doing this. Do you have, if I say 40 things, if you tell them, they will say, okay, I love shopping here, I love shopping there. No, I'm saying that things where you're engrossed so much that you don't have to keep a tab on the time. What are certain things that help you be connected to your own self? Do you understand the difference between self-love and ego? So if I have to just say one thing as an advice, is that we should learn to master the art of being assertive and saying no. If there's one skill that I think I'm working on, and I tell people that they should work on, is the art of saying no. Saying no to unwanted things, saying no to toxic people, saying no to things that you don't want to do, but you're doing it to please others. Instead, say yes to the easiness of life. Say yes to the things that make you happy. Say yes to the things that you really want to do. So that's something that I would say, that when you're saying yes to someone, make sure you're not saying no to yourself.
Amazing. So many takeaways from today's talk, friends. When you say yes to somebody, ensure that you are not saying no to your own self. Treat life as with a, look at your life with a transparent glass. Third important thing is be in here and now. Amazing takeaways, which I had from my conversation with Nancy Katyal. Friends, I hope this conversation have made you understand that why Miss Nancy Katyal inspires me, because I learned from her, because she talks something which I believe in, or probably I'm learning. So I'm upgrading myself each day. And she is teaching me some simple things in life, which is worth imbibing. Probably from our talks, you can also imbibe choti choti cheezein jo humne abhi baat kiya, and try to upgrade yourself. Try to tell yourself that, okay, it's time to unlearn and relearn. Simple. Life is amazing. Thank you, Nancy. Thanks for coming on my show. That's Gupshup or Could Seek. I wouldn't say even it's a show. It's my way of saying thank you to few people, and you're one of them. You hold a very important position in my life, and thank you, Dil se.
Thank you so much, Riddhi. It's always a pleasure to have these deep conversations with you. So I am enlightened by certain things that you have shared. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And friends, if you have any questions for Nancy, or if you want to connect with her, or you want to follow her, she is there on LinkedIn and Facebook. I will be putting her Facebook link, her page link in the comment section. Do connect with her, do follow her work, and please, she comes up with wonderful workshops. Ensure that you enroll for this workshop, because somewhere all of us need to upgrade ourselves each day. Thank you so much.